Hello everybody, welcome back. You know, we've all seen these bullet pins or some other kind of over and under or any kind of a pin that sometimes has deer antler as the pin body as opposed to a resin or acrylic or a wood. And I do that quite often, but the problem with deer antler is it's hard to drill and because of the irregular shape. And today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a pin out of a piece of deer antler. It's going to be a bullet pin, an 8mm bullet pin. But I'm going to show you how I go about drilling it. Deer antler is it's beautiful, but it presents some difficulties. It stinks. It's got some pretty bad dust if you're allergic to it. Some people are. So you have to wear proper protection equipment, run vacuum as much good vacuum as you can. So anyway, stay tuned and you'll see how I go about it. Thanks for watching. The first thing we need to do is I've trimmed our piece of antler to a length that supports our pin tube. And now I want to find the center. This piece is fairly straight. We've got just a little bit of a curve here, but if we drill right through this section just like this, we should have plenty of meat on both sides. So I've got a dot marked here and a dot marked here, and that's going to be our line of drill. Now I've got this reversed. I've got the drill on the drive end and I've got the tail stock just as stationary here. So what I'm going to do is, using a pair of vice grips because of the nature of this, I'm going to place this dot right on that point, and I'm going to bring up the tailstock. I'll turn it on and then we'll slowly drive this through until we get to this point here. You can see when we get to that point there, we're still a little short. We don't want the drill bit to hit the point on the tailstock. I will have the vacuum on and I will be wearing a respirator because of the dust that the deer antler makes. This being deer antler, I'm going to use 2-part epoxy to glue our tube in. So we'll mix it up real good. But the first thing I'll do is scratch up the tube with some 150 sandpaper. And once I get that done, I'm going to clean both the tube and the antler with denatured alcohol. Just pour it through the antler and let that clean it out. It evaporates rather quickly. And then we just insert the tube. Here the little bit dripped in, so I'm cleaning it up so that get the epoxy out of the end of the tube so we don't have problems down the road. Okay, we've got it chucked up in our lathe with the bushings between centers, and I'm not going to show the entire turn, but we'll show a little bit of it. I didn't show how I trim. If you'd like to see how I go about trimming pen blanks, the link to that video will be in the description. There'll also be a card up in the upper right hand corner here if you'd like to see how I go about trimming pen blanks. And I did this one the same way. And when we get through with this, I'm also not going to show you my CA finish. I've got another video on that as well. And there'll be a link in the description below about how I apply my CA finish as well. Okay, I've changed over to a carbide tool. We're nearing the end here. I'll use a 12mm wrench, you see there, to tell me if I'm getting real close to the size of the bushings. And we're just about to wrap the turn up, and then I'll sand it with some 400 grit sandpaper. And after that, we'll be ready to apply the CA finish. And again, you can see that video in the description below. With this particular kit, all you have to do is press in the clip end into one of the ends, and then just slip it down. This other part is already machined where you just screw the transmission in. So all we have to really do is press in the clip. How do we want to orient this? I think I like that right there. And there is our rifle clipped deer antler pen. Everybody, thanks for watching. I appreciate that. These are really nice little gifts, especially if you've got a hunter or a gun enthusiast. They make a special gift, and the deer antler kind of adds another touch to it. Now that is my way of drilling that blank. I have tried other ways with drill press, and I just haven't been able to be assured that I was going to go through the center on a real irregular shaped blank and come out without blowing it out in the back. That is the most consistent way. I can drill probably 11 out of 12 and be accurate with that method, whereas before on my drill press I was probably spoiling half of them, so maybe. But I appreciate you watching, and until next time, be creative, be thoughtful, and be safe.